Hey guys, it is Jet again. Uh, what's up? Basically, I'm getting closer with this build, so let's check it out real quick. I'm gonna make this short. Uh, got a few more stickers on here. First thing with the body, the only thing that's changed the body since my last video is that I got some advice from Big Sung Hobbies. I really love his videos, and I went ahead and kind of got a rough outline of the cutouts that I'm going to need for the shock towers and the shocks themselves, and then also the body post mounts or the body posts for the front end. Basically just flip this upside down, set the truck on there, and use a little marker to draw it up. Threw a few more stickers on there. Got the class 2 sticker on there and some Reedy electric or Reedy associated stickers or whatever. All right, real quick, I did get the shocks done, both front and back. I've got the TRX4 GTS shocks from the TRX4 Sport. They are modded with mini T-springs, low-C mini T-springs, and the in the works 3D printed shock cups, which are the cheaper version of that mod. They're just $15 for all 4 shocks. The springs were $11 for all 4 shocks, and I still have the medium springs sitting over here left over. As you can see, I've got all this stuff here from the shocks that I tore off of the shocks, and I had to do one pair at a time. It was painful. There was a lot of shock oil everywhere. I had to take the top of the shock off in order to get the hardware on there, at least the springs on there. And I don't have shock pliers. And note to self, shock pliers are very important. I kind of marred up at least one of the shafts a little bit using some regular pliers right here. And I can say that even without a towel or with a towel and the shock oil on there, they just spun in here when I was gripping this as hard as I could. Hard as I could, they were still spinning. And then even when I just went to bare metal, they still would spin a little bit, but I was able to get the job done. But I'm definitely investing in a good pair of shock pliers. I do have a set of EcoPower tools. It's just a $25 set that's coming from A-Main. It should be here in the next couple days. It's sitting in Troutdale right now. I'm here in Portland, Oregon, and so but now that I got the shocks done, it looks like it's running a little bit of droop up front. As you can see, that's fully extended, but then when it's sitting, it's not fully extended like the rear end is. These firm springs in the rear end, they'll push themselves out mostly out of the thing, whereas these front ones just kind of a little bit more, it's a little bit more droopy in the front. I am not a pro at shocks. This is my second RC and my first build ever in my whole life, and I'm learning a whole lot. So what else happened since the last video is that I went ahead and I got this panhard set up. I got the servo in there. I got the dual servo mount in there from In the Works RC. It's just a 3D print, but it's super strong. The other thing, I don't know if I'm going to use flathead screws again. This is K&K flatheads, and they don't butt up against the frame quite as nice as I like it. You can see on this end over here, they're kind of sticking out. But this is totally secure. Those screws are threaded in there like this far. It may just be that the screws are a little long. I'm not sure. The panhard was an issue. I was having issues with this link and this shaft here. Not because it was sticking, but just because it was touching. I was worried about it touching. It still is touching a little bit. But when it was fully compressed like this, it was hitting the motor mount just a hair. And that, the driver's side link. And the driver's side bottom link. And the axle was rocking and everything. But that was because I didn't have the panhard link mounted up. And I am just using stock TRX4 Sport kit links. They're pretty good links for, a set of stock links. They're nice 1/4 inch beefy links on the bottom. I like them for straight links. They're not staying in there. But what I had to do, you can see the threads on the panhard. Because when I hooked this up, I was in one of the outer holes, and I had this all the way short, and this shock was touching on this side and kind of bent underneath the frame a little bit even, and this whole front end was uneven, wasn't centered. And now I've got that pretty well centered. I had to unthread that at least a 1/4 inch with the unthreading, and then move it to the closest hole to the frame, and that seemed to fix the problem. That went pretty good. The servo went in pretty good. However, this is my first time putting together any kind of putting a servo horn on or anything. I have not touched anything in this truck electronic wise. This is my first truck over there, the CR12 Tioga from Team Associated. That is a great little truck. It has some flaws, but it's not perfect, but it's a really great beginner's truck. It still runs fine. I've bashed the hell out of that. I got at least 30 hours on that truck, and the stock servo still works. Everything works on it just fine. And the only thing is not waterproof. I don't take it in the water. It said right from the gate, it's not a waterproof rig. And anyway, so putting this horn on, I have right here, if you can see, I've got in the sport kit came with this servo horn that doesn't have. I might end up using this because this is actually steel, but it's a little shorter. This one's got more throw on it, the one it came with, and it is a higher quality aluminum horn. It's a 25 tooth, same as the other one, but it's got these little screws right here. There's one on either side. You can see over here. There's one in the back there, right back over here, right there. There's a screw there that goes in, and then you can see where the other one's coming out. And so when I was putting this on there, I thought that that's just what held the horn on, and it kept slipping. I'm like, well, man, this is funky, and then I realized on the bottom there's an M3 screw that actually goes on the bottom right there. And so now it seems to be staying in place, which is good. I've never ran any aftermarket servo, let alone a direct power one, and this is the BLS X900. I'm super excited about this servo. I've seen videos of it, and the videos were badass enough to where I was like, I have to have that servo, and it happened to be on sale. Just to go over the rest of the build really quick, this is a TRX Sport stock transmission. This is the stock drive lines out of this TRX Sport kit. These are the stock links out of the TRX Sport kit. These are the stock tires and foam out of the TRX Sport kit. These are the stock axles out of the TRX Sport kit. And these are the shocks out of the TRX Sport kit. And some of the hardware. Just a little bit, but the shocks are modded. They do have, I already went over that. It's got the mini Losi springs and the cups from In The Works RC. Total mod cost was $26. And I do have them flipped, so they're inverted, or they're just flipped upside down. As everybody's doing that, I want to try it. It looks cool if nothing else. And then in the front axle, for right now, I went ahead and installed the SSD overdrive gears. There's 2 sets that I've seen for these axles. Traxxas makes an over and underdrive, and then I believe SSD makes an overdrive. I'm not sure that they make an underdrive, but right now I just have the overdrive in the front axle, and that was quite a little chore getting that done. I had to take the whole steering linkage apart, the diff cover off, pull both ends of the axle out. So I had to take both of the portal boxes off, both the wheels off, pull the axles out, pull this steering link apart, and then from there it was pretty self-explanatory. Replace the ring and pinion, and that was a good hour-long deal, at least 45 minutes for me to get that done. I'm not perfect or anything, but it was a chore, but it was fun. I had fun doing it, and it went together well, no problems. The gears looked really high quality. These are what was in there. These are the stock gears. These have never been ran. I might use those as a backup for the rear end or something if I don't go to an underdrive in the rear end. But what I did Gspeed has such a good community on their Facebook page. I was able to uh, take a few pictures, make a Facebook post, and within 10 minutes, I was able to know the exact percentage of the overdrive I have on this rig, which with just the front gear puts it at 13% overdrive. So that's about what the stock Element Stealth X runs if you use the higher overdrive in there. So that's a good starting point. Uh, what else happened since the last video is that I really faced my fear and I went ahead and soldered some stuff. So I'll go over that. That was a challenge. I used a really cheap. Yeah. By the way, I want to show you. Like not only did I not have shock pliers, but you can see this driver that I was using. I broke it, and it's a borrowed tool, so I got to replace that $10 set of sockets and stuff. It looks like I bought myself a used set of sockets. And then I'm probably using one of the world's cheapest soldering irons, but I'm super grateful that I have a buddy, and he's the one who actually got me into RCing here at the house. And I just kind of started watching bashing videos on YouTube after I drove some of his RCs and ended up falling in love with the crawling videos. I bought the CR12 Tioga and started watching more comp videos and stuff like that and seeing some of the more rigs and ended up building this. I've been working on this truck for about 3 months now. And so I went ahead today. This whole time I was so worried about hooking up electronics. And so the first thing I soldered was this XT60 connector. And you can see the negative, the black wire, the negative. Let me make sure I got that on the negative. Yeah, it's on the negative side. The black wire went on great. The red one went on great. You can see my through there that it was a pretty hanky job, but it's sturdy. It's on there. You know, it's not coming off. But I actually used a soldering iron to heat the shrink wrap because I don't have a heat gun or even a lighter for that matter. And I burnt through the end. So I put another piece of shrink wrap on there, and I'm just going to tape this for now because I don't have means to really desolder that without making a mess. And it's going to work. It just needs some electrical tape right there around it, and it'll be fine. And I learned as I went, because when I went to the motor, I soldered on these bullet connectors, all three of the motor leads, and there's still some solder on the shrink wrap because I used the solder gun to heat the shrink wrap again, which is what that gray stuff is on these. But you can see I was able to do a lot better job on these. It went a lot smoother. I started to learn how it worked, and it was a little bit of a chore. And mind you, I did burn the cord a little bit with the soldering iron. I almost burnt myself. You can see right down here, you see the silver stuff on the floor. That's solder. I'm wearing bare feet and all that, or wearing sandals with bare feet. And safety first. I don't recommend, next time I'm going to do that, I have gloves and a better setup than this. Just because I don't want to hurt myself. I'm not into that. But everything went together good. I was able to mount the ESC. This ESC, I don't know about this ESC. It's a $50 sensorless, brushless ESC from Hobby Wing. Hobby Wing I really like Hobby Wing stuff. It's a Brood motor, which is brushless and sensorless. So this ESC, I was worried because it was just a regular basic brushless ESC. It's not specific to the crawling, like a lot of the crawling ESCs that we run. It's not necessarily a 1080 or anything. I was worried. The main thing that I was worried about it not being able to do was my reverse. I was wondering if I was going to have brakes, if I was going to be stuck with brakes as opposed to instant reverse, like crawler reverse. But I looked at the settings, and with the programming card, I can set it to where I have instant reverse. It has drag brake and all that, and it looks like it's going to function just fine for this, at least to start with. I really want to get a Copperhead 10. I'm going to start there before I start messing around with any of the Holmes Mini ESCs or the Micro X. From the Copperhead 10, I'll probably go to the Mamba X because I feel like that's the next big thing, or the Hobby Wing Axe. I really want to try the Fusion. That just seems like a bargain to me. It just makes sense in so many ways, as far as there's less wires, there's more space, and it's a proven crawler motor. I've seen videos of it that are just amazing for the price. And I feel like it performs just as good as the Axe, and it's just, you know, it's light, it's small, it's compact, less wires, and it's at a pretty good price point. But anyway, that's pretty much it for now. Uh, One cool thing is that I watched a video. I'm still learning YouTube. I'm completely not only new to RC, I'm really new to YouTube. I did like 6 years in prison for burglary and stuff. I'm in recovery. I used to be I'm a recovering drug addict, and I used to be into crime and stuff when I was younger, really strung out on drugs, and so I kind of, I'm new to some stuff, and YouTube is one of those things that I'm definitely new to at 37 years old, and so I am just learned in the last couple weeks to post my own videos. I've been watching a lot of YouTube for the last 6 months. I just learned to edit my channel. I just downloaded YouTube Studio. I've never even checked it out yet. So I don't know how to put music to my videos. I don't really know how to edit my videos. I just learned to upload them. And in the future, I'm going to have running footage. I'm going to have build videos. One thing I know I'm going to get is a little tripod, at least for this phone, so I could do some build videos. And I'm going to try to play around with some YouTube Studio here in the future so I could edit some of these videos and do a build video where it shows me working on the truck and it kind of fast forwards through the boring part. And I want to do that. I really enjoy those videos myself, and I'd like to contribute back to the community or to the hobby and participate. As far as that goes, what was I going to say? As far as that goes, these canyon trails, I'm replacing the tires, foams, wheels, and links and drive shafts still on this truck. So this truck is still very far from being done. Plus, the next purchase is going to be a couple 1300 or 1500 milliamp batteries to throw a battery in here. I'm going to put an XD connector on it if it doesn't come with one, which is why I bought extra XD connectors. And I'm getting a FlySky GT5 with a little $14 rechargeable battery for it. And I'm getting a little dual port $50 Amazon charger and some bumpers. That's going to be the next purchase. But right after that, I'm going to get tires and foams. I'm going to get, instead of these Ocho style bead locks, even though these are exactly what I want, except for there's no bead lock ring. And what I've decided to do is I'm gonna get a pair of the same SSD ones that have more of a flat face. I think they're like the Assassins or something like that. They have more of a flat face and bead lock ring. And then I'm gonna get some really cool bead lock rings from JC Racing with some shadow rings and throw those on there. That's purely for looks, not for performance. Performance-wise, these are just fine. But the tires, I am gonna run these tires. I'm not planning on getting rid of these tires. I'm gonna sipe these. I just found a guy who showed a picture of some siping he did on these. That is, like, I've seen videos on siping on these. I've seen a couple of them where people have siped and cut up these tires, and it was like, all right, cool. That's probably good to know. I'll probably do that. Well, today on the gspeed Facebook page, I seen a guy who posted about the canyon trails, and his sipe job was like, it literally, the tire looked better than the Hyrax did. And he was swearing by these canyon trails. So I asked him to post a video or a better picture and asked him what he used to sipe with. Because it was just amazing, man. It was a totally different tire. And so I'm definitely going to try to try that myself. But I think I'm going to go with, I've been shopping tires a lot, and I think a good place to start for me is the Boom Racing has the Hustler MTs that they now have the Ultra Soft compound, the Alien Snot, or not Alien Snot, but the Snail Snot or whatever it is, Snail something. And it's for $26, you get 2 tires and 2 dual stage foams. And that looks like a good starting place to me. I've seen some G-Speeders running them. I haven't seen a lot of them. They look kind of more like a knobby tire, kind of like the Canyon Trails or something. But that's where I'm going to start out at. And I'm going to sipe these and kind of have these and those to start with. And as far as links, I'm going to stick within the Works RC. I already went over that in another video, and just get the high clearance links. I'm probably going to go stainless 1/4 inch on the bottom, and aluminum 3/16 on the top. And then besides that, the winch, interesting enough. So what I want to try to do is I'm going to try running, because I haven't seen anybody else running this, and there's probably good reason for that, but I'm going to try running the In the Works RC winch mount and servo mount. It's a tray. It's a servo tray winch mount. And I'll go over why. So I like this. This dual servo mount works great, except for because it's an LCG build and everything. I'm thinking I wanted to lay down the servo and then go with the winch mount back here. But if you look, I really don't have a whole lot of room with where I'm going with this to put a winch. With the way this is over here, I could put a winch over here, but this being in the way, I think it's going to be in the way. And I could just put a winch right here. That would probably work just fine, and I'm probably going to do that temporarily. But Rock Pirates RC, I was just going to leave this. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll go with the lay down servo mount and the G-speed winch. And then I was like, man, what I really want to try is a Rock Pirates RC tray. And they have this tray for the SCX-10-2 and the Element chassis that keeps your servo. And then it has if you use a shorty winch, it lays it down on its side, like right here, a little bit set back, so that you can put a lead right here for the winch line. And I really like that setup. I've seen it ran on SCX-10-2, and it looks really good. And on his website, he says that it will fit most comp chassis, and this is one of the more popular comp chassis. So I'm gonna I think I'm gonna buy it. It's $25 and try that out. I think it's just made out of like sheet aluminum or sheet metal, and so I'm pretty sure I could mod it up if I really wanted to get it to fit. But I think that's where I'm going to end up with this. And what I'm going to run is I'm going to try out the new 800 IS from Reefs. It just looks like a really good deal for $150. It looks like a really good winch, and it's low profile, and it looks really super strong and fast. So I'm going to try that out. It's something new on the market. And as far as that goes, after I get the batteries and the winch, the links, the drive lines. So one of the things with the high clearance links, I was going to go for $30 or $25 on Trio's website. They have Defender TRX, Defender, which was the original TRX 4, Defender drive shafts. And that wheelbase was a 12.8 wheelbase. And so I was thinking I was going to order 12.8 links and then buy those drive shafts, thinking that they would most likely fit roundabout on this build. And they're metal, and they're made by Trio, and I was like, they're pretty cheap. It couldn't hurt to try them. And then if those don't work, I could go for something more expensive. And they were nice red and black, which is kind of the theme underneath here that I'm going with. But since then, this clearance issue, it's not really a clearance issue, but this little bit of touch I have between this link and this drive shaft made me think that I'm going to go with the MIP, because they're more of a telescoping, or the Super Shafties, which are more of a telescoping. They're a thinner, harder steel shaft. And I think that's what's going to end up happening. I'm just going to order the links and put the links on and measure from eye to eye, from this eye to the other eye, and order custom Super Shafty drive shafts for this thing. And that's about it. That's my build. Oh, besides the fact that I think eventually I'm going to put some underdrive in the rear end. But as I do these things, I'll make videos to update and show you what it looks like on the rig. And here in the next month or two, I'm about to graduate drug treatment and go back to work. So I'm going to be super busy. But my overall goal in the next 6 months is to work on my editing skills. Since I just learned to upload, I want to learn to edit. And I want to do some build videos, and I want to get some tuning videos when I first take this out on the rocks, just to run it. I'm gonna run it as soon next month. I'm gonna be running this video out at, or running this truck on video, hopefully out at Elk Rock. I'm gonna get a little $18 tripod and do a little bit of tuning and breaking it in a little bit, and hopefully I'll get some running footage and some build videos coming your guys' way. But anyway, hit like and subscribe. I know that was an earful, but I've been working on this for 3 months, and I really, if you are not in the hobby or if you're thinking about building one of these, it's a lot of fun and it's challenging at the same time. And there's a lot you can do with this. None of these, there's not, I mean, literally, like, there's few duplicate trucks. Each one of these trucks is their own thing, you know what I mean? And there's so many variations in parts and setups. It's just really a lot of fun to, you can customize, you can make 30 different trucks yourself and still have more stuff to try out, you know what I mean? And I really love that about this hobby so far. And it's a lot more social than I thought. There's a lot of events and stuff like that, and there's family stuff, there's competition stuff, and I really just am finding a lot of satisfaction in this hobby, and it's really helping me out a lot. So anyway, hit like and subscribe, guys, and I'll do the same for you. If you want to share your build, just post a link in the description or in the comments, and I'll check it out. Bye.